War Report family, it's halftime. Let's talk about it. This is your War Report halftime report. Auburn versus Missouri, presented by Prize Picks. Visit prizepicks.com and use code REPORT to get 100% match on that first deposit with Prize Picks. Follow along with us, guys. The mid off is midding right now. Auburn is locked up with Missouri, 14-14 at the half. Let's jump right into this. Thoughts on what we're watching here.
Started good, and it ended bad in terms of half. I'm just glad I got my Rogue Shop here. Shout out to Rogue Shop. You know, if your team is has had a good first quarter, followed up by an awful second quarter.
Yep.
This is what you need right here, guys.
Guys. Visit
Rogue
Shop. Visit rogueshop.com. Use code REPORT. Use code War Report for 25% off your Delta 8 gummies to help get you through these tough times. Listen, there's lots of struggles going around college football. Unfortunately, Auburn is in that zone right now. Not a ton of offense. It started off promising. They had some short fields. The defense got their first turnover of the year. We talked about that pregame, and then not a lot after that. I have to ask: is play calling the biggest issue here? It feels like play calling is the biggest issue here. The line is not getting much push. Tank has 12 touches so far, so he's on his way to the 20-plus touches that a lot of people said they wanted him to get. But I have been adamant about the fact that it's feeding Tank the ball is simply not the answer with this line. What does Auburn have to do to get the ball, get it going here in the second half?
They've got to throw the ball.
Right.
They've got to put the ball in the air. Yes, it was about Tank not getting touches, but it was also about our willingness and somewhat efficiency throwing the ball down the field with TJ Finley early so that you couldn't crowd the line. Now they have no qualms about putting everybody down there close to the line and making sure that we can't move the ball because they know the quarterback is most effective moving the ball on the ground as well. If this is all you can do, then it's over. It's over. The second half is over. And unfortunately, unlike last year, you are not going to get the benefit of the defense just holding it down for you for a few quarters while you figure it out. It's just no matter what side of the ball gets on the field, they are susceptible to being taken advantage of, whether it's offense or defense.
The play calling isn't helping cover this offensive line at all.
No,
if you ask me, they can't get pushed in the run game. The runs up the middle, like we started off with some outside tosses, they went away from that. Again, straight up the middle on first down doesn't seem like it's the answer. Read option.
You got to get Tank on the perimeter. Tank has done the most damage this year when he's on the perimeter, not running between the tackles. We can't run between the tackles, guys. Like that's over with. They got to figure out how to get him the ball in space. I agree. Feed Tank the ball because he does amazing things when he has the ball in his hands. But the problem is with how poor we look up front. It's almost it's a waste of a down to run up the middle. And that's what we've been doing a lot in this half with Tank. And they have to figure out how to get Robbie. And then I saw Corey put a comment, try to get Robbie to stay in the pocket and make some throws and see the field. Robbie kind of has a little bit of happy feet at times, but we're going to have to throw the ball because, again, I have no reason to not put 8 in the box and dare Auburn to beat me at this point.
Right. Absolutely. Well, I get to some comments here. Dustin Pace. Simple but effective. We feel you, man. Listen, just frustrating after those.
I'm not there, Dustin, because you know why?
Rogue Shop for sure. Lee Vans, the middle of our defense is Charmin, ultra soft. Listen, might be time to call a spade here. Thomas Dickey, sweaty balls needs to go. I mean, Schmedding, Wilfred too. It's hard. It's hard to defend this. I'm going to throw Eric Keese out in that I'm disappointed on what I'm seeing.
It's a lot of folks you got to call out today.
Leo, so how many gummies are safe to take in one sitting? I can safely and confidently say 3 is too many. I did that.
How you know that, Mike?
Oh, okay. I did that. It did not go well for about 18 hours. I was seeing ghosts and goblins and lions and tigers and bears for a little bit. RTJ Beats, I'm buying gummies now. You guys love the plug for the Rogue Shop right now. Kevin Flaherty, Schmedding and friend out. Like, this seems to be like defensive play.
The trenches, bro.
Yeah, but and I'm not letting the defense off the hook in this one. This is bad what we're watching, but ultimately after those first 2 drives, you're putting them back on the field quite a bit. You're getting behind the chains on first down with really unimaginative play calling.
Yeah,
I don't get it. Robbie Ashford is going to have to throw the ball if you're going to win games. So feed Tank is not a strategy for this team. Because you don't have the line to get the push, right? Like, read option has to be the way that they go, where you create mismatches and you get the defense guessing, and then you give the ball to Tank and let him do his thing. But you got to create angles for him. You have to create mismatches. It's just not going the way I think that they thought it was going to go. Want to get to a couple of super chats here. Guys, help me out. Yeah, it's moving fast. Jazzy Joe, 6 and 6. 2 + 1 + 2 + 1. My heart hurts. Yes, I think a lot of people hearts are hurting right now. Definitely, Jazzy. So we feel your pain. Amani Smoot, my honest opinion, I don't believe Harsin can coach an athletic quarterback. I personally believe we should be in a shotgun with tempo. Now, I said in the pregame, I was a little disappointed that we were going to see a bunch of 12 personnel. Now, if they had a 3-receiver set out on the goal line down in the red zone on that first scoring drive, they were spread out. And Robbie Ashford runs right up the middle for a touchdown. You have to go back to that, I think. Get Omari Kelly, Camden Brown, Coy Moore, all these guys on the field at the same time, man. The tight ends are not doing it for you. Got to switch strategies. Hector says, I'm not having fun anymore. I don't think anybody's having fun right now. Damari Nettles, hey, man, renewing that membership. We appreciate you, brother.
Welcome,
guys. These halftimes go quick. So we're going to get right back into it, guys. This is your War Report halftime brought to you by PrizePicks.com. Visit PrizePicks.com. Use code REPORT to get 100% match on that first deposit. Let's jump back in here. We can't say this is not Robbie Ashford's fault, right? Like,
no, the play calling is poor.
Yeah.
If this was the game plan, which was to do run the offense we had already run, and just have him run a lot more, then that was a bad game plan.
Yeah.
This was not the reset we needed to see. The fundamental philosophical reset that we need to see. This is not that.
Right. Robbie is 4 for 6, 45 yards. Again, he hasn't had a lot of opportunities to throw the ball. Again, he has shown a little happy feet, but that's expected with a young quarterback in there. He's responsible for one of our touchdowns. He's actually played fairly well considering. I just don't think the play calling or the game plan is suitable to leverage his ability and what he really can do in his offense.
I've got him 5 for 6.
5 for 6?
I've got him 5 for 6.
Yeah, 5 for 6. What did I say?
4 for 6. Yeah, he's
5 for 6.
Yeah, he only incompleted one pass. You've got to let him throw the ball just a little bit more.
It's not like he's 1 for 6 or he's struggling throwing. Like he's actually playing fairly well. I love the throw to Shanker towards the end of the half. Beautiful touch on the ball. Turn him loose. I think that's what we're asking at this point is, man, turn these guys loose and let them play.
Yeah, you can't be afraid to let Robbie Ashford throw the ball. You've got 6 passes to 26 rushes right now. So running the ball, the amount of rushes is not the issue. Now, Ashford has 11 carries. Bigsby has 12. Jarquez Hunter has 3. What are the chances we see something? Is there a plan B? This has been the story of Auburn, is you play a semi-solid competitive first half, and then the teams start to adjust to whatever the initial game plan is. And going into the second half, do we see them do the same thing, or do we see more adjustments based on Missouri I've tried to say this. This is a game of punches and counter punches, and you have to have a counter punch for the other team's counter punch. You have to know this is coming. What does it need to look like in the second half? Man, you got to get these receivers involved. Coy Moore, man, he tripped over his own feet there. They ended up getting the first down, but that could have been a big play.
Oh, and the minute if we have any miscues on any offensive drive, we simply cannot recover. It seems tripping up right there that ends in a punt. We had a negative yardage on the first down for another drive that ends in a punt. We can't afford to be off schedule at all.
Yeah.
And it still seems I'm with you, Mike, in the sense that this is play calling. This is
play calling. Yeah,
you got to turn it on its head. It's like it wasn't going to work if all you were going to do is run Robbie nonstop. That's not going to work. Teams aren't
or
stupid.
tank.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Or tank. Let's get to some quick scooper chats. Kenneth says, now y'all see my point after 2 years. Hey, listen, got to talk about what they do. So it is what it is. Yeah. Jazzy Joe, Papo is missing tackles like crazy. He's not having a great season so far.
Listen, man, I understand how much we loved the guys that we had from before. Papo was a beloved Auburn player, and he got in here, was a top recruit along with Bo in the 2019 class. I don't think he's living up to that recruiting ranking, and all of the linebackers, honestly, it seems like Zacoby McClain was standing between us and ruin for all last year on defense.
Yeah, man.
It is a noticeable difference. It was last week. We saw it. We're seeing it again this week. We're getting run over. The defensive line is they're plugging the holes they're supposed to plug. The linebackers are supposed to clean up. They are not cleaning up.
They're not cleaning it up right
now. They're either slow to get to the ball, or when they get to the ball, they don't wrap up. It's either or at times with the linebacker group. And this is one of the groups that I was paying close attention to. They needed a bounce back game, and they're not bouncing back.
Ramon Blakely, will we see Holden in the second half? I'm not sure you have a reason to see him until you let Robbie Ashford throw the ball. 6 passes, man. And he's 5 for 6. He's completed 5 for 6 passes.
The way they're calling the offense, the defense pins his ears back because the only time we're passing is an obvious passing down. That's not fair to Holden Garner or Robbie Ashford for that matter. You have to get on the attack offensively.
Lutson Kirkin says we need a good read option, triple option package, 3 or more plays. We need something. Jazzy Joe here, 21-14 Penn State over Central Michigan at Penn State. Lots of struggles here in this early. Michigan is struggling. Penn State
Georgia is struggling. They are surprising me and hurting my pockets. What are y'all doing?
Nobody is immune on this.
Them 11 a.m. kickoffs, boy.
Yeah, this 5th Saturday of the season is giving everybody fits. I see Will Rogers out here doing work. We had him on our prize picks card, so keep an eye on that. Tank might let us down today. Francis Cart in defensive Harsin, he definitely got a raw deal. His approach is different. He's been sabotaged since day 2. However, he's made bad decisions that exacerbated the situation. Play calling. Yeah, I think that, again, I won't disagree that this coach has been sabotaged, but I don't think that the result today has anything.
That has nothing to do
with it.
With Missouri.
Yep. Yeah, this is, you've got athletes on the field. You got to find ways to get them the ball. You've got to turn Robbie Ashford loose in the second half. And I hope that he can get into a groove throwing the ball, having only thrown 6 passes in the first half. So, feed Tank, sure. But some of those are him deciding to run instead of throw. So that has to be noted, right? Yeah. So some of that is on him, but got to find a way to get the ball out of his hands. Joseph Orr, appreciate the super chat. Is it possible Harsin is sneakily trying to get fired for that buyout? I don't think he has to try.
He's getting the buyout no matter what.
Yeah, he's getting the buyout no matter what. I think you win because of your future job prospects.
Right.
Period. So I don't think he's self-sabotaging. Guys, this is the War Report halftime brought to you by Prize Picks. I'm here with B-Dub and C-Dub. Yeah, all you guys. So, hey, man, listen, we're going to turn you guys loose on the second half here. Again, we thought Auburn could – B-Will, you and I thought that Auburn could get to 31 points. They could. If they break second half trends so far this season, right, which is scoring in the second half. But how do again, give me one key, guys, to the second half.
Stop doing this BS you've been doing the first half.
Just stop.
Stop.
Hey, I'm emptying the bench. I am emptying the bench of every player that has shown the most ferocity in practice. That means it doesn't matter if they're true freshmen. It doesn't matter. I would put Robert Woodyard out there if he's healthy. We need a change of linebacker. Something's got to give. The defensive backfield hasn't played terrible. We've missed a couple tackles, but it's been nothing compared to what we've seen at linebacker. And on offense, I'm putting anybody in the game, and I'm running something completely different. If that means 4 wide receivers, if that means no tight ends, I'm doing it because it hasn't worked. It has not worked.
Yeah, listen, we have not wanted to talk about a coaching search, but if you lose this game,
it's time.
Yeah,
it's time.
Yeah, it's time. I can't put this on the players. Our line is what it is. You got to scheme around what you do and do what you do well and what you don't do well. Offensively, I can't say that we've done that at all. So we're gonna have to see. Anyway, guys, we're gonna turn you guys loose to get ready for the second half. Again, this is the halftime show presented by prizepicks.com. Auburn versus Missouri. Visit prizepicks.com. Use code RAPPORT to get 100% match on that first deposit. We're going to be back with you guys in the post game to talk about what happened. Hopefully, we're talking about a win, but we'll see. Should be exciting. Get your gummies. See you guys in the post game.